Hey there YouTube, we're live. So, just want to show you guys some mushrooms that I found today out here in Cape Ann. So, these are all different kinds of chanterelles. Down here I have your classic kind of golden chanterelle. There's these beautiful decurrent ridges underneath. So chanterelles are mycorrhizal mushrooms. They're pretty meaty, pretty solid. The ones out here tend to smell kind of fruity. But they're bright yellow, so you can tell them from that. They're going to be growing out of the forest floor because they're mycorrhizal, so they're not growing out of dead wood. They're generally relatively solitary, maybe twosies, threesies, but not in giant clusters like Untitled, which is a look-like. And they have these very distinctive kind of ridges underneath rather than true gills. So these don't really break or bend if you run your finger across them, and they're decurrent, so they run all the way down the stipe. And chanterelles have like white flesh. Seems kind of orange after a little while, but if you cut it in half, it'll be white in the middle, and Untitled is orange in the middle. These also have white spores, so with all that, you know it's a Chanterelles, a true chanterelle. I also have a bunch of different Craterelles here. So these are sort of known as yellow feet chanterelles, but these are the ones that grow in summer, and yellow feet chanterelles usually grow in winter in a lot of places. But this is a Craterelles species because they're hollow inside. So if you rip one in half like this, you'll see that it is hollow, as opposed to one of these guys, which, oops, actually that's a big Craterelles. These true chanterelles are not hollow. Instead, they're big, meaty, and white all the way through, whereas these Craterelles are hollow. And sometimes when you're cleaning them, you need to actually rip them in half to make sure there's not like dirt hiding in the middle, because there's usually dirt in the middle, because they have sort of this hole, this belly button hole in the middle. So Craterelles are really good. These are both relatively watery mushrooms, so I will just wash them indiscriminately because, you know, these are dirty. I don't want to eat dirt. So I wash the heck out of them, and then I put them in a dry pan, and I cook them, saute them very hard until all the water comes out. And then I'll add some butter and start browning them. And that's my favorite way to kind of cook these wild mushrooms. So we also have a bunch of black trumpets, which is another Craterelles species. These are also mycorrhizal, and so you'll find them growing at the base of trees or in moss. These are really, really good edible mushrooms. They're hollow, just like the other Craterelles. So if I open one up, it's sort of hollow all the way through. These dry out really well, so I'm probably going to dry most of these and bring them back to California with me. These do grow worldwide, but it's different species in different places, so I'm pretty sure out here it's Craterelles phallax, but these are my selection of different chanterelles. So we have the golden chanterelles, the kind of yellowfoot chanterelles, and then these black trumpet chanterelles. So lots of good stuff. And these are both Craterelles species, and this one is a Chanterelles species. So we're going to move on to biodiversity of boletes and a few other species. I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell you the name of all of these, but we'll try. So what's in front of us here, this is a sarcodon, what's called a shingled hedgehog. So it actually has tiny little teeth underneath, which is pretty cool. Helps you ID them. So instead of having pores or gills, they have tiny little teeth. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it's there. What else do we have? We have Artemyces, Pixidasis, something like that. Artemyces are these cool little sort of coral fungi looking things. They grow on dead wood. They're decent edibles, but they can be bitter if they're old. Sarcodons also are edible, but they can be bitter. So it's kind of go back and forth with whether or not those are good edibles. These weird looking black boletes are old man of the woods. Strobilomyces is this genus name. They're like black and shaggy and have these black pores, and will stain kind of reddish if you mess with them. We have some bicolor boletes. So these are some of my favorite summer boletes. So they have some red on the base of the stem, turning yellow, and these bright yellow pores underneath. Beautiful velvety red caps, which you see the sun on that, beautiful. There's also this frost bolete. So this has crazy reticulation on the stipe and a really, really bright red cap and red pores. There's this ornamental stipe, or was it ornamental bolete, this crazy reticulation webbing on the cap, yellow pores, kind of like a tannish brown top. We have Lactoflukes Corgus, so these milk caps exude a milky latex when you when you cook them, I'm going to move this over, you can see the sun a little better. Color of this pores on these, or the gills on these, is just absolutely gorgeous. There's also Lactoflukes Corgus. Mom, give me a sec. I'm in the middle of streaming. It's okay. Oh, here you go. See the latex coming out of this thing. See this white stuff coming out. Let's see. These are Oreobolitas. These very, very yellow ones. So these will be kind of sour if I cook them up. But I like Oreobolitas as edibles. Those are good. Both of these Lactoflukes species are edible. I like to roast them or pickle them. It's probably my favorite way to cook them because they can be a little grainy if you just cook them straight up in a pan. This ornamental bolete is also edible, although I've had mixed experience. One time I had it was delicious, one time I had it was kind of bitter. So that is what it is. I've got a giant Rustler here. This is a green cracking Rustler, and I know this one's edible, but there are other inedible Rustlers, so this is kind of an advanced ID. But there is one that's green, and it's cracking, and if you see that on the East Coast, you know it's edible. We have some other Tylopilus. So these are bitter boletes. They're not edible, but they're just cool looking. Kind of these velvety purple tops. White pores are really, really pretty. Let's see, this is one, I found this yesterday. This is the cornflower bolete, and I think if we break it, yeah, it turns blue very, very quickly, which is pretty interesting. I love this bolete. It's really cool. And then we have some Berkeley's polypore here. So this is a part of a giant polypore that grows out of the base of dead trees, and I just cut off a little bit of the leading edge. You can see this really cool kind of angular pores underneath. So this is just another really big bicolor bolete. So, oh, and here's one more bolete, but this one has re-evolved gills. So instead of boletes have little pores underneath, that's how they disperse their spores, but there is a species of bolete that has actually evolved to be gilled again. So, and this is edible. It's a pretty good one. Anyhow, this is the species diversity that I found out here on Cape Ann. Let me show you guys the whole lineup. Gotta love good summer mushroom hunting. I'm super excited I'm back and have a chance to share this with you guys and all of the goodness and the beautiful things that I'm finding here in Massachusetts. So, yeah, hope you dig it. Check out my Instagram and TikTok to learn more. Bye.